Good morning, you beautiful people. Welcome into another video. Today I'm going to be talking about how you should do your very first flight on ATC24 servers. So to kick it off, how do you get to this page into the actual ATC24 Discord? Well, to begin, you open up Discord and then you can find, you will probably log in. You won't see all of these. The voice channels are going to be logged. All you have to do isn't a big deal. You just have to verify your account through here, and there is a waiting period. It's not that long, not too terrible. Now, how do you actually join? Right below the ATC24 training page, which I recommend you check out, it's beautiful, you can go into the ATC24 link, select that, and then you can click play now. There is a player count. There's 31 people in the server right now, including me, and you can go ahead and do play now. It'll launch you up with a link, and it'll just put you straight into the server. You don't have to touch anything. You don't have to press play. As soon as you click the play now link, it'll transfer you over onto whatever browser you use. I use Opera, which is amazing. And then it'll transfer you straight into the server. So once you're into the server, you'll have to select to play, and then you'll come over here. There may be a queue occasionally. Some days it's bad, some days there's no queue. Once you're here, you're going to select the play option, and you can find wherever you would like to fly it into, or I'm sorry, out of. For this example, what I'm going to be doing is opening up this Discord, and we're going to see where there's towers on. If you see here, we got Rockford, Perth, ISO, etc. We do have a ground control over at ISO, and ISO is a decently small airport, so we're going to begin over there. I typically like flying out of Larnaca. It's pretty chill over there. It's perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and spawn in over at ISO, where I'm going to go ahead and move my Discord all the way over there really quick. And then we are going to go ahead and I'm going to open up on the top right of your screen, if it would like to show up, maybe, possibly. There we go. Okay, so we got this here. Let's see here. We got this. You can just re-see everything. All we're gonna do is shift it over here. That way you can see the Discord. So if I just X out of that, if we go into ISO, and then we're gonna go into ISO again. Loading airport, Just gotta wait for it. Perfect. Now that you're in here, you can go ahead and press 1 or the actual tool to run around and find wherever you would like to spawn in an aircraft. If you're flying VFR, I would highly recommend not spawning in at a gate, as those are for airliners. I'm going to be talking over both IFR and VFR flights today, so we're going to go ahead and kick it off with an IFR flight. So IFR, you can spawn in really wherever, depending on the aircraft. For this example, we're just going to spawn in at, let's say, gate 2. So let's make let's move over one more. Let's choose gate 3. That way we have more room for push. So you run over here, select the aircraft as you would normally do it in server. This is right after an update, so I am not fully familiar of all of this. It's my first time in after the update. But we're going to go over to airliners today because we're doing that IFR flight. And then you're just going to look through these aircraft, select the aircraft that you would like to fly, and go from there. So for this flight specifically, let's say that we are flying into Rockford for today. It's kind of long flight. I love my A340s, but I'm going to select a 50. And then you select your aircraft of choice. Let's go with Delta. And then you can get into your aircraft. Now, you don't have to be completely stopped. Like, you can always turn on your engines and move forward a little bit just to get lined up with the gate properly. And then just make sure that you turn off your engines afterwards. And if you would like, you can, of course, move over, raise the gate, do really whatever. Just make sure, if you are going to be getting off of the aircraft and you're disconnecting, get into the aircraft and delete it. That is very, very important, because then it's going to be just holding up a gate for nobody to be there. I very, very highly recommend that you do not lock the aircraft. That way, if you do accidentally leave, nobody can get in and delete it for you, so that creates a whole situation. So now what we are going to do, let's let's get back in there. We are going to go back over to the Discord page here. And what we are going to do, if you look at the top right of your screen, underneath the ATC24 server, there is ATIS information. You're going to select that, and we're going to zoom on down here. I haven't been on in a hot minute. And then you're going to find the what's called ICAO code. And that's just the way I personally pronounce it. ICAO code is the proper way of saying it. I just like spelling it out because it makes people more aware of how you would actually spell it. Because ICAO, excuse me, people would probably do like an actual IK and an O. Anyway, so for ISO, if you look up at the top right, it's I as in India, Z as in Zulu, O as in Oscar, L as in Lima. So what we're going to find is that aircraft or that airport code, excuse me, and then the ATIS information. So if we zoom up here, you're going to find it eventually. Alright, they must have been on for a while here. Alright, perfect. Okay, so here we are. And then we're going to zoom down on the side. We are going to find our beautiful airport. We're going to connect to ground. Make sure before you connect that your push to talk is off, or is on, excuse me, and that you have it set to exactly what you would like. So let's enter in. It's going to be connecting. Maybe I'm having issues here. Let's try that again. There we go.
Sorry, repeat, sir.
I have your IFR when you're ready to copy.
So they're talking there. I'm
Okay,
going to
ready to
deafen so that you can actually hear me. So looking at this is very important. See, they don't have a chart link, which is interesting. They very much should have one, but you know, some people don't, which I don't understand why. Anyway, you can see your max taxi speed at that airport, meaning that anywhere in this airport that you are, with the exclusion of runways, of course. Oh, why is it like inverted? Okay, there we go. With the exclusion of runways is going to be a max taxi speed of 25 knots. So that means after you push, 25 knots is your speed limit on the ground per se. You have your arrival and departure runways, which are, for ATC24's sake, always going to be the exact same, with the exception of a few airports, of course. And by a few airports, I would say Tokyo, because they have 2 runways. If it is a 2-runway airport, then it's going to be different. If it's a 1-runway airport, then they're going to be the exact same, I should say. So over here, let's see here, for 08, we're going to open up here, and I recommend that you bookmark it. We're going to go to PTFS, and then PTFS charts. That's just the way I do it. Of course, you could do this separately through their Discord. And then you could also search up PTFS charts. So if we did there, select here, this is the exact same page. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the island that we're at, and then we're going to go over to Islorani. So let's say that we're taking off out of Meller. We could go Rockford and then Meller. Or you could, of course, just go straight to Meller. And so we're going to go back over here and then open up our chart. So we see here, we are at stand 3, and runway 28 is the active. So we can expect, this is a great way to start doing it, you can expect your taxiway instructions. So we are a heavy aircraft, so we're going to be pushing onto Alpha, which is this marking here. You're going to push back, and then they're probably going to say tail left. Well, they have to say tail left because there's no other way to go. So when you push, your nose should be going to the right, while your tail is going to be going to the left. So we should be facing this way, up here. So we can expect that 28's active. We're going to take Alpha, and then a right-hand turn onto Delta, and then Delta 1, Echo 1 holding. Or possibly Delta 2, Echo 1 to holding. Just depending on the type of controller, I would personally give Delta 1, Echo 1. But that's what we are going to expect. So let's move that back over here. We'll have that up on the side, of course, while we're moving. So as we see, once more, everything is perfect. We have a QNH, which is your altimeter for the people in the US. And this is 1013. you don't really need to have that information. It's not relevant in ATC24 because it's Roblox. You can't do anything with your QNH or altimeter. Your charts are very important, so let's see. Let's go over here for the Meller charts. Over here, this is where you're going to select your departures and arrivals. So if we zoom down here and we want the Meller 1 departure, for example, we can press there. That brings us down to the Meller 1 departure, and that shows us exactly how we're going to be flying and the altitudes. So to read these charts, if I bring it over here, you will see that 500 with a line under it means that you have to be above 500 feet. So we're doing that. If you see two lines bracketing a number, so for this example, it's 2,500 in those lines, that means you have to be, that means you have to be at exactly 2,500 feet at the beans waypoint. So you can easily fly this. You have headings that help you out, which is wonderful if you just look underneath the lines here. And so that's how you would go ahead and generally fly if you want it to be more realistic. For the sake of ATC24, you could just say GPS direct, meaning that you are going to be flying from one airport direct to the next. That's not something that you could do in real life nor in VATSIM, so please keep that in mind. So now that we have that all done, we can, I accidentally closed that. We can open that back up. If we look back at the ATIS information, there is a W there. So this is where photonic alphabet comes in handy. You can look this up online, of course, but for this example, W, or not for this example, in general, W is whiskey. W stands for whiskey. So ATIS information whiskey is now current. To the right of that, you have a time of when that was posted in Zulu. And then you have your controller call sign. So depending on your controller, they will say, your departure frequency. So for this example, when he is giving me my clearance, he's going to say, and then departure is going to be I'm tripping over my words today. Departure frequency is 124.64. If you're in the US, you're typically going to hear controllers say 124.64. UK and the rest of the world is typically decimal. Now, if we continue down to the NOTAMs page, this is where you're going to see all of your information. So ground aircraft advise receipt of information whiskey. So that's going to be the first thing we say. Your stand number, which for this example, we are at gate or stand 3. Your aircraft type, we are an A350. Your aircraft type, and that's all going to be said on initial contact. If you are an airborne aircraft, you're going to say, of course, the receipt of information whiskey, which is the ATIS type, aircraft type, altitude, airspeed, heading on initial contact. Those are all the things you'd say. And then VFR aircraft say direction of flight and intentions, which we will get into later. And then you have your charts, which at this time, they didn't post anything, which is unfortunate for us. So, now if we undeafen here, we can go ahead and request our clearance. Please keep in mind that it is very important that you have a piece of paper and with the acronym CRAFT on the side for clearance, route, frequency, and transponder. So if we open up Paint, let's see here if it wants to load. We do CRAFT. You could do this on a piece of paper, but this is just easier for me to show you. This is going to be your clearance, so you can already start filling it out. We're going to Rockford, so RFD. And then for PTFS, it's I, always. So IRFD. We're Rockford Airport. Yeah, I'm not going to blah, 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 blah. Rockford Airport. The route, we could go via route. They don't have a chart published, so we're not going to do anything like that. So we're just going to do GPS direct. And then one way that you could show direct is D with a line pointing away. It could look different depending on what software you use. I won't get into that right now, but typically it's a D with an arrow is direct. Altitude is going to be the altitude that you are cruising at. So they will give you an initial altitude to fly at. So I just leave it as a line, and then your cruising altitude. For us, we're going to do 3,500 or 035. And then, yeah, I'll just do an arrow to make it clear to myself. Frequency is the frequency we can expect on departure, which is 124.64. So 124.64. And then transponder is also your squawk code, which we don't know at the moment, so we're going to put an underline there. So now what do we want to do? If I move this back over here, open up this, bring Discord over, we're going to zoom up, scroll up, you'll see flight plans. And then I just like going to the bottom, you don't have to. You're going to do /, and then create flight plan should be at the top. If it's not, do create, and then it will be at the top. Select it, in-game call sign. So for us, it will be Delta 4142. So Delta 4142. And then your call sign in games, we're going to do Delta, so Delta Airlines. And then we are going to do our call sign, which will be 41. You could alter the call sign to whatever you would like, really. It just has to be realistic. And then we're going to do slant hotel, meaning that you are a heavy aircraft. So Delta 41 Heavy is going to be our call sign today. Aircraft, we are an A350. You would write this different, of course. Oops, A350. This would look much different if you were writing it as an actual aircraft type. I don't know the exact aircraft type in game, but it could be like, if we were flying a 737, it would be looking like, if we were flying a 737-800, it would be B738 to show aircraft type. So we're flying an A350. We don't have a designated type at the time. We're VFR. We're departing out of ISO. We're arriving at the Greater Rockford Airport, flying at 035. And then we're going to go over here, select just to the side of it, and then you can put route, and you can fill out your route. We're going to do GPS direct for this example. You don't have to put your in-game name because it always has it, but you could select it and then put it in there in case. So now that you have all of that information, you're just going to press enter. That's immediately going to be filed into everything so that all the ATC online can see it. So people really get annoyed if you say this, but I'm going to do it for the sake of the video. You're just going to say your call sign in a radio check to make sure that they can hear you fine. So all we're going to do is hold down your push to talk button, say call sign, and then radio check. So Delta 41 Heavy, radio check.
Delta 41 Heavy, 5x5.
So the 5x5 tells you that he reads you loud and clear. He can hear you perfectly fine. So, perfect. We're all set. We're going to move this over to the side here. We're going to select our paint tool for the time being, and then request clearance. Some controllers will give it differently. It's just based off of how experienced your controller is, really. So now we're going to move on to our clearance. All you're going to say is your call sign, and then requesting your blank clearance to your airport. So for this example, we are doing IFR. So it will be Delta 41 Heavy requesting IFR clearance over to the Rockford International Airport. That's all we have to say, and then he'll give us that information. If he says stand by your number blank, that indicates how many aircraft are in front of you. If you are stand by your aircraft 1, meaning that you are at the front of the queue, you are number 1. And then he will ask you advise ready to copy if he is a decent controller. So let's go ahead and continue on with that. Delta 41 Heavy, we're requesting the IFR clearance into Rockford International Airport.
Delta 41 Heavy, I have your IFR when ready to copy.
All right, go for Delta 41 Heavy.
You're cleared to Rockford International via GPS Direct. Expect runway 28 for departure with tower. Maintaining runway heading and climb maintains flight level 020. 2 minutes after departure, climbed at 035. Squawk 5331.
All right, Delta 41 Heavy, we are cleared to the Rockford Airport via GPS Direct. Climb maintains 035. 2 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.64. Transponder is going to be 5331.
Read back correct. Push and start approved. Tail to the left.
Tail left, Delta 41 Heavy. So what we just said here is all of this information. That looks like a Z. That's a 2. So that is the time after departure in minutes. So if we do minutes there. So we're going to be at 2,000 feet, and then we can expect 3,500 2 minutes after departure. I said transponder, it should be squawk just because I'm reading it weird. But it was 5331, and then we were cleared for the tail left, and then like we already saw on the ATIS, we can expect 28 left for departure. So he gave us our push clearance. We're going to turn engine on, press P for push, of course, and then begin our push here. So while we're waiting for the push, you should open up your chart pack to get a good sense of what your taxi instructions will look like. So we're continuing our push here. And then once we're done with our push, we're just going to say Delta 41 Heavy ready for taxi. And then he will give us our taxi instructions to the runway, and then he will hand us off to the tower whenever he is ready. So let's continue with this. And then, in such realism for this part, I like going flaps 1 for departure. So we are ready, and I recommend on that same sheet of paper you have that open so you are ready. B for taxi instructions. Be aware that we already planned. We're expecting Alpha, Delta, Delta 1, Echo 1, but it could be different. So just keep your ears peeled. Delta 41 Heavy looking for the taxi.
Sorry. Delta 41 Heavy taxi Alpha Delta Delta 1 Echo 1 hold Echo 1.
Alright, Alpha Delta Delta 1 Echo 1 and hold Echo 1 for Delta 41 Heavy, thanks. So that gave us our clearance. Here, if I put parentheses there, we got Alpha, and then keep in mind your speed restriction. You can of course go below it. There's no problem with that. Just make sure that you don't go above it. So we're taxiing Alpha. We are on Alpha right now. Open up your chart to see exactly where we're going. We are going to be taking a right onto Delta here. So if you don't have a chart, which you should, you can open up here. You can see Delta has a has 2 points here. You should have a chart open to tell you which way to go, but we're going to be going right onto Delta. It had a D with an arrow pointing to the right, which indicates it. The box
Delta 41 Heavy, when you reached Echo 1, contact Tower 124.64. Ground can be Unicom for 2 minutes.
Alright, Roger, we'll contact Tower once we get to Echo 1 for Delta 41 Heavy, thanks. So the ground just went Unicom, meaning that he is offline at the moment for 2 minutes. So once we get to the Echo 1 holding point, then we're just going to contact Tower. Like I was saying, in these black boxes there on your taxiway markings, shows what taxiway you're actively on. So if we look over here, you're actively on the Delta 1 taxiway. So now, if we look at the red, it shows 2 numbers here, 10 and 28. 10 is, so I should say, the number on the left is the runway that is going this way, and 28 is the runway that's going this way. So it just shows your markings on the side. And so now that we are at Echo 1, we're going to contact Tower. So we're going to say, let's see here, let's contact Tower. Make sure that you stop before the holding point, very important. And if I can find it here, ISO Tower. We'll connect to them. And then really once you're in, you can just contact them with your name and what point you're holding at. We're holding at Echo 1 as we see here. So Delta 41 Heavy holding Echo 1. Well, I'll see if he says anything.
Delta 4162 cleared for takeoff on way 28. Winds are 90 at 70 knots.
Alright, clear for takeoff, runway 28, Delta 41 Heavy, thanks. So he gives you winds. You do not have to repeat the winds. So we're going to continue forward. Check right, check left. Runway is clear.
Tower.
We're going to go ahead and turn left, enter our
When are you getting off?
Oh, like...
we were already cleared for takeoff, so
I'm
let's begin
gonna
our takeoff
go
roll.
off, like, after this departure.
Can I have Tower?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
And then keep in mind, they gave us an initial altitude of 2,000. So we're on the roll here.
Kakalanding ko lang sa Perth.
Alright, now that we have that,
Pagka-landing ko, namatay
we are
yung
at
cellphone
rotate
ko.
speed. Make sure that you're not accessing
Nagapawal. Okay. That's enough.
Make sure that you're not accessing 250 knots like I just did there when you're below, I believe it's 3,000 feet for ATC24. In real life, it's going to be 10,000 feet. So we're just going to continue. Fly runway heading on departure was one of the things he gave us.
You want to transfer now?
So we're going to continue on that departure here. We're flying the runway heading, which should be
Yeah, just give me a few
280.
minutes.
Yeah.
So we're going to be continuing flying that. And then as soon as we get to 2,000, we're going to level off, then call tower. So we're continuing. Passing. There, we're going to begin our level off here. And keep that climb still going just a little bit.
Transferred. Have a nice day. Good luck.
And then we're going to level off. And then we're going to contact them. Delta 41 Heavy, 2000.
Islamani is going to be Unicom for 2 minutes while I set up.
Roger, no worries. Unicom for Delta 41 Heavy. So, Unicom meaning that we are resuming our own navigation. We don't have any controller, basically. So what we're going to do is we're basically resuming our own navigation. So we're going to go ahead and continue that cruise up and turn left. Keep in mind that when you are in a Unicom state, you are going to mention every movement that you're doing pretty much. So Delta 41 Heavy, we're going to be turning left direct over to Rockford, ISO traffic advice. So we said tripping over my words. Azulrani traffic advise.
Islamani ATIS information uniform is active.
Alright, so let's go ahead and check uniform. Oh, I also, I messed up personally. See, we all mess up. On initial contact, I should have advised information whiskey, but now uniform's current, so we're just going to say that we got uniform on board, because we do. Now departure and arrival is 10. So that's fine, and we have an official chart link. So that's wonderful. So we're going to contact them once we have read and understand all of that this information.
1902 requesting IFR to Larnaca.
So now that we are
Lufthansa
passing
9902, standby number 1 for IFR.
Now that we are passing 3,000, we can kick up
Lufthansa
that speed here.
9902, IFR when ready.
And then we're going up to 3,500 for today.
You're clear to Larnaca via GPS direct. Expect runway 10 for departure. Climb and maintain flight level 020 after departure. 2 minutes after departure 030. Squawk 7455.
So you can't really deafen while you're flying because they may give you information. That's the reason that I haven't been deafening yet.
Expect runway 10 for departure, climb.
Your speed in the air can definitely vary. I'm going to go ahead and actually slow it down a little bit because we're coming in fast and I want to make sure that we have
Read back
proper
correct.
clearances here.
Call when ready for push and start.
Let's see here. Delta 41 Heavy, we got uniform on board.
Delta 41 Heavy, are you, hold on. Can you state your intentions, please? Sorry, I just got online.
No worries, yeah, I was the departing aircraft here. We were inbound for Rockford.
Yeah, Delta 41 Heavy, you're cleared, contact, Rockford Center 124.850.
2485, ciao. And so now we got the departure, the new frequency here. Excuse me. So we're going to contact them. Rockford is very busy, so I'm going to try not talking a lot until I'm on the ground.
Left heading 180 and descending to 150, cat 664.
Singapore 47. Would you taxi via Alpha, Juliet 1, Juliet, Kilo 2, Kilo?
So what we are going to do here is find the Rockford ATIS information, which actually conveniently just popped up.
Yes. United 191, the winds are 184 degrees at 2 knots, clear to land.
So we got Alpha on board today. And then we're going to read this. So airborne aircraft advise receipt of information. Alpha.
Cat 664, turn left heading 090.
Turn left heading 090, cat 664.
Runner 8.
So we have a heading of 250.
Number 1.
Delta 41 Heavy, we got Alpha on board here. We are A350, 3,500, 250 is setting.
Are you, Delta
Delta
4.
Cook, fully ready for departure.
Okay, hold on. Do Delta roll. Delta 4
this
1.
spawn says
heavy.
4661. Do you want me to turn right heading 180?
People talk over each other. It's so chaotic over here.
Oh, that
He
was
didn't
for
even
Cat
have runways
664.
on, so that's very big miss.
You're not yet, bro.
It's not a great controller right now.
Doing that, bro. Cook. The winds are 184 degrees at 2 knots. Clear for takeoff.
Okay.
Alright,
So
clear for takeoff for runway 25
we're gonna
left. And if
slow
you want, I
down a
can help
bit
you
here
after
because I don't
you-
know what he's
after
doing
you're
right
done.
now. Looks like he has 7
I got
active.
Q. I got 4 people. Cat 664. I said turn left heading 0 9
So we're
0,
gonna
bro.
continue on. If we open,
Yeah, I'm
open
heading
back up our
090.
charts, we're gonna find
Oh, the scope
Rockford
froze.
charts.
Stargazer 6686 contact is around the control.
Like I said, I think
One,
7s are
no,
active.
contact scope monitor unicorn 122.8. Bye bye.
So this guy's probably gonna be using your
It's for
physiology.
Stargazer, bro.
Rockford Hotel Delta 2682, stand 1-2, information Echo, IFR to Perth.
Let's see.
Hold on. My scope just died.
Rockford Tower, Antonov 3353,
You gotta know how to
holding
control
short
without
at
your
25
scope.
left, Alpha 5, ready to go.
Don't let bro cook. Report downwind. 4661. Sorry about that. Turn left heading. 337.
Don't you mean right?
Yeah, left.
Left or right?
Delta Cook, run the
left.
downwind.
Left.
Alright, but I'm gonna be heading away. But okay.
Okay, right then. My bad. I'm dumb shit.
Oh,
Cat
boy.
664. Sorry about that. Turn left heading 270.
Cat 664 turning left 9270.
Alright, so
Don't
now
let bro
we're-
cook. Your intentions are full stop or touch and go.
Our intentions are a touch and go for runway 25 left and check your DMs.
I know. I don't need help. Don't let bro cook. When able, turn base. Report base. Air break. Air Antonov 3353. The winds are 33 degrees. 3 knots. Clear to land. Clear for takeoff. Break. No rebags required. Delta 41 hotel. Whatever it is. Turn left. No, turn right heading 087. Descend and maintain 1,500. QNH 1015.
Alright, we're gonna. Can you repeat that head and then we're down 1,700 for Delta F.
087.
087. Thanks very much for Delta.
Don't let bro cook, we're on base
Alright.
for runway 25 left for
Well,
touch and go.
okay, so see, people are just
Antonov
over each other.
3357. Go faster, fat boy.
Okay.
Going.
Don't let bro cook. You can when able.
we're gonna continue that
you're clear to land. You're
Clearly,
clear to touch
I know
and go runway.
I'm not doing a
winds
great
no
descent
factor.
here, which is fine.
Touch and go runway 25
but,
left and copy the
I'm
winds.
not
Don't let
the
bro
best
cook.
pilot.
Qantas
4661.
4661, do you want us to turn left?
Yeah, 4661. Turn left heading 250. Clear for
Then
the
we're
ILS
gonna-
approach to runway 25 right.
Clear ILS for whatever, 25.
And
The
then he
right
said
runway.
17, so
Yes.
we're gonna hold off there. I'm assuming that we're gonna get queued in. So the 41 heavy. What excuse me. What runway do you have active? I don't see it in your ATIS.
25 center, 25 right.
Roger, thanks. So.
I need to open 3 runways now.
Rockford Center, good
Hold
afternoon.
on.
Speedbird Concorde 42 Heavy, gate 11 with Echo QNH 1015 requesting IFR to Tokyo.
Number 4.
Alright. He needs ground control, even though he said he doesn't need help.
Number
He definitely
5.
needs help.
Cat 664. Turn right heading 360.
I may hop on to help him. Like,
Cat
jeez.
664 turning right heading 360.
Delta 4, 1 heavy, turn left, turn right heading 157, and decrease your speed on the 180.
180 or below, and then 157 for Delta 41 heavy.
Oh my days, I'm cooking.
No, he's
Oh, you're
not.
wrong.
He definitely is not. I hate to
Pardon?
break it to him. I mean, like, he's
Answer
not.
5537, 3357. Hello, resume the navigation.
Yeah,
I'm too
I can't
busy.
go
And follow
that
the Logan
slow.
form, my bad.
Yeah, follow Logan 4 in and out 3353.
I don't know, broke it once airborne, turn downwind, report downwind.
Okay.
Let's have one report down on.
Are there any
and,
physics?
don't let Bro cook.
I mean, I'm
There's
looking at this at UCAS right now
box,
too.
looking across 2-5 left.
Oh,
Onto,
would you look at that? I saw the cockpit. It's
Delta
beautiful.
4-1 heavy. Sorry about that. Turn right 250.
250.
Clear for the Alice approach. Runway 25 centered. Cat 664. Turn left. Heading 250. Clear for the Alice approach. Runway 25 right.
Alright, then.
Cat 664, turn left and 250, clear for ILS approach runway. Can you repeat runway?
25 right.
Delta 41.
25 right.
Delta 41 heavy. We got same traffic. 25 center.
Qantas 4661.
Okay, so we're looking for the
requesting, I don't know, taxi to
ILS here. The sun's in the
Gate
way, so
2.
it's kind of hard to see, but
Don't let Bro cook. We're on
I got the
downwind.
lights in sight. Yeah. And we're looking for the
Don't
center
have
work.
Bro cook intentions.
Where then we have
Don't let Bro cook. We're doing a
okay,
stop
so
and
this
go.
is the parallel.
Runway 25 left.
Okay, doing that. Bro cook. Once able, turn base. Report base.
So then I
turn
just gotta make sure that I'm
base,
lining up for the
report
right
base.
one because I
And we're
can't
turning base
tell.
now for
Oh,
double
here we go. Okay.
Doing that. Bro cook. You're clear for tough stop and go. The wind's no factor.
Cleared stop and go. Roger for.
Stop and go.
Delta, are you turning? Yeah, good job. 4661 taxi via Bravo, hold short 7 right.
Okay, so
taxi via
we're
Bravo,
definitely a bit off here.
Bravo,
but we are on course
hold
here.
short.
So if you look at those lights over
Alpha
there,
1. I don't know.
I know I'm not doing a lot of talking. I'm gonna do a breakdown after we land because a lot's
No,
going
I'm
on.
almost done with the arrivals. Cat 661, the winds are 146 degrees at 2 knots, clear to land. Delta 4641, heavy, the winds are 62 degrees at 60 knots, clear to land. Runway 25 center.
Clear to land 25 center, Delta 41 heavy, and then we got the parallel on site.
Well, I just want parallel. Just keep the separation.
Qantas 4661 requesting.
I know
to
there's a lot
cross
going on. I'm gonna do,
runway,
like I said, I'm gonna do a breakdown once I
07.
land.
No, don't let Bro cook is landing.
What? I don't see
Alright, so
anybody
let's see.
landing, but okay.
There are two people
no,
landing.
it's someone touching go, I think.
Negative.
Okay, you're airborne. Just you can, when able, just turn down.
Alright.
Delta 919.
So we're at 25 center. We're
Cross
going
runway
to once more
25
anticipate
left,
those taxis.
Juliet 2 Kilo 2 join the ramp. No rootbacks required. Ryanair 8820. I have your clearance. Advise ready for copy.
Ready to copy Ryanair 80.
Center.
Ryanair 8. Go ahead.
Alright. Let's
Center.
make
Hyper
this a
7.
decent landing, shall we?
Flight level 080 flying by over the island.
Hyper 7 continuous fired. No rootbacks
So
required.
we're a little low. That's
Ryanair
alright.
8820. You're clear to Mela 25 left for departure. Radar vectors. Initial climb 2,000 feet. No, sorry about that. Correction, 3,000 feet. Squawk
Ooh,
4056.
I know I stalled it, but it said retard, so I had to
Ryanair
stop the
880
engines.
cleared IFR to Malor via radar vector, expect 25 left for departure, and initial climb B030,
That was a
squawking 4056.
very slow landing.
Ryanair 8820, the rebound's correct. Put your start on this discretion.
So one important thing
and a hold
is that you don't taxi after you get off the
Speedbird,
runway.
I have your clearance. Advise ready for copy.
So we're gonna go ahead and
Speedbird,
vacate
Falcon,
right
copy.
here onto Gulf
Hold
2.
on. Qantas 4661 cross runway 7 right. Alpha 1 Alpha join the ramp. No rebounds required.
And then we're gonna go ahead
Just
and
follow my
start slowing
instructions,
down
guys.
here.
Keep on the toes. Come on.
Delta 41 heavy Gulf 2.
Gulf 2, okay. Delta 4, 1 heavy taxi via Gulf 2, Gulf Foxtrot, cross runway 25 left, Foxtrot Alpha join the ramp.
Alright, Gulf 2, Foxtrot, cross 25, Foxtrot, Juliet 2 to ramp. Delta 41 heavy.
Ryanair 8820,
Okay, lots
Confirm
going
holding
on,
pushback.
lots
Yes.
going down. He gave me the cross,
break,
so...
break. Hyper 7 contact line control. Whatever it is.
So I'm
I
across
forgot.
because he gave me the cross.
Contact line control Hyper 7, right.
I don't know if it's...
Don't let Brooke, are you on the roll?
Don't let her quick negative. I'm just finishing a game of Clash Royale, then I'll be off.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Speedbird 40, you're clear to Tokyo. Shut
boy.
up, who cares about you? Speedbird 42, you're clear to Tokyo, radar vectors, expect runway 25 left for
Jesus,
departure.
what it-
Initial climb
what?
5,000 feet, 7,000 feet, form this after departure. Squawk 0401.
Feedback on Golf 2, cleared vectors, initial 5000, squawk 040.
The rebat's correct. Hold for pushback. I got so many DMs.
All right. Now that it's quiet, I can tell you what we're doing here. He gave us.
Hold on, guys. I got DMs.
It looks like it is a clear ramp right now, or uncontrolled ramp, I should say. So.
I'm a frequency change.
Oh my god,
okay.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so this guy's very distracted right now, like the tower. I don't think he should be controlling rock,
Ryanair
personally.
882 direct after the A350 pushes down approved, tail to the left on kilo.
After the A350 pushback is approved, so to the left on kilo.
Right. So if
Um,
we keep going here.
Speedbird 42 after the passing traffic, pushes start approved, tail to the left.
Behind the traffic, push the start approved to left, speedbird 4 to Concord.
Cat 664, cross runway 7 right, Alpha 1, Alpha join the ramp.
Perfect. So we're gonna take 17.
Cat 664 cross runway 7
See,
right.
and
Alpha,
although I don't think he should be controlling, we're
Alpha
gonna be
cross.
nice.
Repeat.
Don't know what you're saying, just follow my instructions, taxi, yeah. Delabro Cook, are you on the roll?
Negative. Deliver quick. We're gonna go do another game plus rail.
Okay, Oscato, bro. Stop playing your game, bro. Just leave.
Okay.
Bro, just leave
Habibi,
the runway.
Habibi, I'm not the one who's supposed to control you. You're supposed to control me.
Okay, that was a terrible parking job. Hold up. Okay,
Well, who was requesting IFR?
So now we are shutting down here.
Like 7.
So
Delta, wait.
Let's see here.
Delta 268, you with me?
Okay, perfect. We're gonna be.
Yeah, I asked for IFR like 10 minutes ago.
Sorry about that. I got loads of traffic. Delta.
Okay, so I'm just gonna deafen right now. I'm not gonna say nothing. So that was a lot to break down. So what we're gonna do here is I am going to open up Rockford charts if I can. Hold up. Where are the Rockford charts? Okay, hold on. I gotta find them. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, no, we're actually gonna keep it here. Okay. So, a lot to break down. We are going to, let's see here. You're just going to mute this really quick. Where is my sound? Here we go. Okay. So, now if we go here, there we go. A lot going on. So, let's see here. I just got to find a good idea for you guys so I could show you what he was basically doing. Like I said a few times, I don't think he should have been controlling, but you know what, it is what it is. Okay, so we came in pretty much a little bit on the other side here. So on this point, so we would be at, what would that be, 190. So we came in at like a heading of about 190, I would say. And then while we were the heading is different, but we came in at this general area over here. We're coming in, right, and lots of traffic at Rockford. So he started it off by giving us descent and heading instructions. And I don't have an actual piece of paper in front of me, so I couldn't write everything down. But it is important that you write this down so that you can remember it. Don't be afraid to ask people to repeat instruction. It's natural to not get everything. Just ask them to repeat it. Not a big deal. So we are descending down, right, as one does. And then he gave us turns instructions. I think it was at about 150 as well. 150. So relatively there. And then we turned over and then we pretty much intercepted the sweet waypoint. And he gave us a different heading on that, which is totally fine. So we came in over here and then he gave us another heading in it. And then we had a parallel off to the side. Note how I pointed out that I have the parallel in sight. That's because that is traffic. Traffic is important. So we noted that they were in sight. We landed. They landed. Everybody's happy. Everybody has a great time. Now, coming off, you heard me say something about how when he gave me those taxi, he mentioned the cross of 25 left. He didn't say Golf 2 Foxtrot. He said Golf 2 Foxtrot, cross 25 left, Foxtrot to park, or to the ramp, or whatever he said. He's, like I said, not the best controller right now, but that's okay. So we will basically be taking that as a cross. We don't stop here. We do not stop here. And I think that it's hard to understand, but we don't stop here. If they give you cross, you cross. So if he said Golf 2 Foxtrot, then we wait and then ask for instructions. We would say Delta 41 Heavy at Fox, request on the cross 25 left. Typically, they'll give it to you later on, but you just have to hold there. If it's been a minute or two and they haven't given you clearance, then you just go ahead and cross with clearance, may I add. So you have that all in mind. Yay, wonderful, everybody's happy. So he gave us our taxi, we came in and parked. That was very, 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 very chaotic. All right, but we figured it out. All right, everybody's happy. We figured it out. Good job, y'all. So now what we are going to do is talk about VFR flight, and that's going to be pretty interesting to do. It's a lot less this type of traffic because this is, like I said, for airliners. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'll see you guys then. Alrighty, so now we are over at Southampton. So they, I'm deafened right now. It's not that they're not talking, I'm just deafened. They are, as you see, messing around. They shouldn't be doing this. This is all recording, so, you know, they'll probably get a little talked to. But anywho, we have our aircraft. I already pulled it up. I got it pretty much already. So what we're going to begin doing is just get inside of your aircraft. You don't need to start it. You don't need to do nothing. It's going to be the same beginning part of everything. So we're going to go over here. We're going to see the ATC information here. It's the most recent one. We got Quebec online. We got 26 is the active. They do have a chart this time, so that's going to be nice. Let's close this. And then we got to find something on the charts. And then if we go back over here, we see once more 26 and 20 is the max taxi. So, oh boy. Let's zoom in here. We see 26 and we are at stand 1 at the moment. We are going to expect, or the only thing he could give us is Alpha 1. So that's what we're going to be having. So if I don't know how to fully clear this because I don't use this a lot. Let's see. Exit? No. Okay, hold on. Give me one moment here and then I will be back with you guys. Alright guys, so now that we're back, I eventually figured it out. So what we're going to be doing is that same thing. We're going to do the craft actor acronym. Excuse me. So we're just going to do that. And then do that. So we are going to be cleared to Southampton. So if we look up here, let's see, it's here, let me close chat. It's ISAU is going to be the ICAO code. So let's do ISAU. And then once more in brackets, you could say south, blah, 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 blah. And then we got our route is just VFR circuit. So keep in mind, typically in the real world, the circuits that you do when you fly are going to be left-hand circuits, which works perfectly for us. Now, if we were on this runway, you'd probably, I'm guessing, give us right because of the mountains, but we could still do left circuits with that. So we're going to expect the left-hand circuits here. So with the route, we're just going to do left. Ooh, that was terrible. Left circuits. So I know I spelled that wrong. I'm just trying to do stuff. Now, this tower, I will say, he's a little crazy. He doesn't really know exactly what he's doing, I don't think. So there's that to keep in mind. Altitude, this is going to be where it's different. We can put a cruising altitude, we have to when we file the flight plan, but the altitude part he would give us at or below. So this isn't a Bravo class airspace, and there isn't a Bravo above it because the closest would be Rockford, and their center closes over here. So we don't really have a set altitude yet, so I'm going to leave that blank. Frequency is going to be with the tower, so if we look here, it's going to be 1227 tree. So we got 122.73. And then for the transponder, we once more don't know, so we're going to leave blank. So let's say that I am reading this right now. It would be clear to Southampton Airport via the VFR left-hand circuits at or above blank with you on, and then you'd give the frequency 122.7 tree, and then squawk blank. So when I get frequencies, I say 2273 for this example, because 1 is always going to be at the start. For your first time, I recommend you slowly go through it. 122.73. In the world of aviation, you have irregulars, I would say. So that would be your 3, your 5, and your 9s. These are going to be your irregulars. Let's see, is there a marker tool? Yeah, close enough. So if we do that, irregulars. So I'm just going to do IRR. So 3 is, are there text boxes over? Oh, there are. Oh yeah. Okay. So 3 is going to be pronounced tree. 5 is going to be fife. And 9 is going to be pronounced niner. So let me make that bigger. Okay, so that did literally nothing. Okay, oh, here we go. Let's do 72. Oh, I have to highlight it. Okay, well, oh, that's way too big. We'll do 36. Okay. And then, whoa. Okay, hold up. Yeah, you guys get what I mean. I don't really know how to... Oh, boy. Okay. So... that's tree, as in a tree, fife, and then 9 is niner. So, what I personally like doing for my call sign is November, because I'm in America. And then 4142 is our sign. I don't really use that. I use 35 Whiskey Bravo. That's my go-to call sign for VFR flights. So this is going to be our call sign. So if I go back over to brushes, I'm going to do a blue because I like blue. We're going to go there. It's our call sign. I'm just going to do CS because why not? So now we have that already. We're going to go over here. We got Quebec online. We have our ATC information. We've got our altimeter. And then we got Quebec's DAN number. That's all we have to say here. And so once more, VFR, say direction of flight and intentions. So now what we're going to do is go in flight plans / create flight plans, and game call sign is Cobra. And when we're going to do -4142, and then call sign is going to be November 35 Whiskey Bravo. Aircraft is a Cessna 402. And then we're doing VFR rules today. Departing out of Southampton and then arriving once more there. Flight level, I'm going to say 050 or 005. And then route is going to be left circuits. So I don't know what he's doing over there. And then in-game name, of course, we don't need to do. Enter. And I'm going to undeafen. So now if we go over here.
Next 25 Echo, ready for takeoff runway through.
And of course, if you...
Chan X.
If you also hear me sniffing a bunch, I am sick, so that's why.
Are calm.
Ready to take off runway 08, Shanx 25 Echo.
Alright, so we are going to open back this, and then we're going to bring that back to black.
Hope I don't crash now.
November 35 Whiskey Bravo looking for the VFR pickup, left-hand circuits.
Alrighty, Chad. Can I get your call sign again? I'm sorry.
No worries, it's November 35 Whiskey Bravo.
November 35 Whiskey Bravo. Let me zoom in on that. Alrighty, November 35 Whiskey Bravo. Clear for left-hand circuits around the airport. Let me try to find you. Clear for left-hand circuits around the airport. Do not go above 010. And squawking VFR.
Alrighty, and we are clear for the left-hand
Good
circuits
enough.
of Southampton International Airport at or below 1,000 feet, and transponder 1200 frequency with you today on 127 for November 35 Whiskey Bravo.
Yep, that's good enough. I can do that again if you want everything. I kind of just forgot to give you like departures with me and everything like that.
That's alright, don't worry about it.
Alrighty. And hold on.
Alright, so now
And
that we're
yeah,
here,
oh my goodness, what is your call? Chanex 3. Oh my goodness, scope is being weird. Chanex something. Resume your own navigation for now.
Oh boy.
Copy that. Resuming on navigation.
Alrighty, and November 35 Whiskey Bravo. Readback is correct. Tail to the left.
Alright, clear for that motion, start tail left, Whiskey Bravo. So, as you probably saw there, I shortened it to Whiskey Bravo. You need the exact false call sign when you are contacting the tower initial. So,
Thank God I have no rivals. I suck at rivals.
So afterwards, you can shorten it. You can drop the N for November. I dropped the numbers. If there's a similar call sign, then I would just.
I literally
say
don't
only.
want to fly over a Greater Rockford. Like seriously.
It's packed.
Right,
if you
Yeah.
don't want to, you can just resume your own navigation. Y'all rats.
Yeah, I'm going around the island like through Meller.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna get you to Meller, and then Meller guy can deal with it. Oh wait, there's no
Yeah.
Meller. Wait, is there? You know what, I'll just say. Oh yeah, there is. Wait, no, there's not. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have to deal with Unicom.
So this probably isn't the
Yep.
best place I could have done
Chanex
this, but that's
25
okay.
Echo. I think I'm leaving your airspace. Contacting Unicom on 122.8. Have good luck with ATC. See ya.
You're not really out of my airspace, but sure.
Oh boy.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Alright, November 35 Whiskey Bravo, looking for taxi 26.
Alrighty, November 35 Whiskey Bravo. Taxi via turnaround Alpha, hold short Alpha 1.
Alpha 1, Whiskey Bravo. So we're taking Alpha is the here. Hold on, let me. Okay, so Alpha is this taxiway here. Alpha 1 is that holding point. Ooh, let me get myself lined up. Alpha 1 is that holding point. 26 is this runway. We got, of course, this. We're doing left-hand circuits. We're gonna go up at or below. Did I say above when I gave the clearance? Ooh, at or below 1,000.
Delta 3453.
And then we're gonna
Would you
loop
like
back
a
around.
early handoff?
And then we're gonna do a touch and go here.
Meller.
Positive.
Alrighty, Delta 3453. Resume your own navigation so you can turn left whenever you want to direct to Tokyo. I'm pretty sure that's where you're going. But clear frequency change to Greater Rockford on 121.0. See you.
Did they redo all of the cockpits? This looks really nice.
Rockford, Delta 3452.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's cool. Alright, it's just me and him now, so hopefully not that much talky talk. Let's see, he did have charts, but it's only a ground chart, so it's the exact same information. Whiskey Bravo Alpha 1.
Alrighty, Whiskey Bravo Alpha 1.
No, Matt.
Well, that's stupid. November 35 Whiskey Bravo. Clear for takeoff, runway 26. Winds are 5 knots at 228 degrees.
Clear for takeoff from 26 Whiskey Bravo. So if we continue on, we're gonna do first person as always. Make this a nice little turn here, and then speed up. It's gonna be the same concept. Speeds no greater than 250, below 3,000. So we just can't exceed 2,050 on this flight today, which I don't think that's gonna be a big deal. I don't know what the max speed for this aircraft is, but you know, that's alright. Well, maybe.
Alrighty, November 35 Whiskey Bravo.
I do not want flight following.
Contact me when on down or base. Wait.
Alright, Roger. We'll copy on base for Whiskey Bravo. Alright, so we're gonna level off. We'll do like 700 circuits. Why not? Let's see. It's important to keep an eye out at the airport, see where you're going, of course. So on that departure, he didn't really say fly right runway heading, so I technically could have turned. It's good to fly the runway heading in general, especially if you don't have an actual set departure, or like departure course. So you see how when I took off, I waited for him to call me, and that's really important. He said call me on base, so on the screen somewhere I'll pop up a diagram showing you what the base is. But we're going to be doing a left base over here for the flight. Let's see. Or, yeah. I always get base and crosswind mixed up, but that's alright. We're going to extend our downwind just a little bit.
Also stations, St. Bartholomew Tower, Unicom, like 30 seconds.
Alright, Roger. Alright, I'm just going to extend downwind because he's gone right now. But when he gets back, I will turn base.
All stations here. I am back.
Alright, Roger. Now that he's back, we're just going to make that base. Whiskey Bravo turn base 26.
Alrighty, Whiskey Bravo. Clear for the option runway 26.
Clear for the option 26 for Whiskey Bravo. So the option is you could either full stop or touch and go. He gave us the option, which is great. So we're just going to continue with that touch and go 26. So you can just fly it how you normally fly a flight. It's very shaky in the cockpit, which I don't think I ever realized. But we'll do, let's see, we will do 2 circuits and then a full stop. So let's lower our gear here. We'll get flaps 1 going. I'm not going to slow down all the way. I'm also very low, so we're just going to do that. I'm still pretty low. Okay, there we go. We're going to slow down just quite a bit because we were going very fast.
Oh my goodness. Scope just like restarted your whole, I think it was like November 35 Bravo, something like that. Clear for the option runway 26, clear for landing. Winds are, well, kind of too late for this, 7 knots.
Alright, clear for the option once more. Whiskey Bravo, thanks. Alright, so that was a beautiful landing. You heard those tires squeal. And we're going to continue and then lift back up. You got a little bit increase in speed, flaps up, and then once we clear there, I'm going to toss gear up and then continue through. And once more, I'm going to maintain
November 335. Oh, yeah. Goodness. Can I get your call sign, please?
No worries. It's November 35 Whiskey Bravo.
Yeah, I'll write that down. November 35 Whiskey Bravo. Contact me when on base again.
Alright, Roger. Wilco for Whiskey Bravo. So, Wilco is a sign of will copy. So, I say Wilco because it is like saying, alright, we will copy that information, or like we will do said action. So we're not going to extend downwind that long this time. So we're going to continue further. Just cruising along pretty low, which is fine. I mean, VFR, you don't really have exact minimums. So we're going to just continue going through here. We can see the airport off to our left side. You want to try on your circuits that you are parallel with the runway. Don't really go off flying wherever. You could do, what we're going to do a straight out departure, I think, on this one. So we're going to do a touch and go and then straight out for Grunewijk, maybe. There's nobody's controlling that. That's fine. We'll just stick with this. So we're going to continue through. We'll just do a full stop. So, as you have a turn left for the downwind, look for the full stop 26. So then we're going to go flaps.
November 25 or 35 Whiskey Bravo. Cleared for the option runway 2. Clear for the full stop landing runway 26. Contact me. Actually, never.
Clear for that full stop 26 Whiskey Bravo. And so we're coming in, we're low once more, and you can tell by those PAPI lights right there. Nowhere in PTFS do they have the other landing lights. I won't go over them right now, but they're called PAPI lights in this for the sake of PTFS.
Oh gosh. IRFD25 right, departure dark 3, beans, Dinty, seeks, ILS 26, ISAU. Oh, I'm done.
I'll help him out after I land. So, we're gonna come up here just a little bit, get a good nice flare going, and then that was a pretty hard landing. That's okay. And then we're gonna keep those speeds
November
up
25, Whiskey Bravo. Nice landing. Welcome back to South Antonio, vacate left unable.
We'll vacate left unable, Whiskey Bravo. So now that we're on the ground here, we on the runway, like I said, that's the exception of your taxiway restrictions. So we're gonna lower down to 6. And then we're going to vacate on Alpha 2. We're not going to call them too early, but once this tail is clear, then we're going to call them. Vacate at Alpha 2, Whiskey Bravo.
Alrighty, November 35, Whiskey Bravo. Taxi, would you like the hangars?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Alrighty, November 35, Whiskey Bravo. Taxi via Alpha to the hangars, see you.
Alpha to the hangars for Whiskey Bravo, thanks. So we're going to continue that taxi over. I think that this is a really nice airport and time to be doing this controlling. You get a lot done here. This controller is like honestly really chill. So, excuse me. We are able to do pretty good flight here. I can go over great information with you. So like I said, we have a speed restriction. We got our chart open. We have our quote notebook. I guess it's just Google Paint for the sake. No, I just can't fly. So we're going to continue in to the hangars today. But that's really going to conclude this entire video. If you guys would like more information on how to fly in general, on let's say Sim Network or anything of that sort, just let me know and I can make it work.
Do you know the routes that have like IRFD25 right, departure dark 3, beans, like that?
I do.
So I don't have to like direct them or anything. I just have to like clear them for the ILS when they 26, right? Because they have their own route.
Yeah, here I can help you out in one moment. Just give me a sec. Okay.
Alrighty.
So
He's just arriving here. He sent it like a couple of minutes ago. He should be on his way soon.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so like I said, that's probably going to be the end of the video. I appreciate you guys staying around. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Criticism, if you hate the video, dislike it. I don't really care. It's up to you. You have free will. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Go ahead and make a new 8.